You are sons of the Lord your God. You shall not practice purification rites. You shall not place a baldness between your eyes for a corpse. For you are a people holy to the Lord your God. And it is you the Lord your God has chosen to be an exceptional people, to him out of all the nations on the face of the earth. You shall not eat any abomination. These are the animals you shall eat: calf of cows, and lamb of sheep, and kid of goats, deer and gazelle and roebuck, and wild goat, and white-rumped antelope, and antelope and giraffe. Any animal that divides the hoof and splits the hooves into two parts, and brings up the cud, among the animals, these you shall eat. And these you shall not eat of those that regurgitate the cud, and of those dividing the hoofs and making distinct claws, the camel and hare and coney, because these regurgitate the cud, but do not divide the hoof. These are unclean for you. And the pig, because this animal divides the hoof, and makes distinct claws, but this one does not chew the cud. This one is unclean for you. You shall not eat their flesh, and you shall not touch their carcasses. And of all that live in water you shall eat these. Whatever has fins and scales you shall eat, and whatever does not have fins and scales you shall not eat. These are unclean for you. You shall eat any clean bird, and these you shall not eat from them: the eagle and the bearded vulture and the osprey, and the vulture and the kite and those like it, and every raven and those like it, and ostrich and little owl, and seagull and hawk and those like it, and heron and swan and ibis, and diving petrel, and hoopoe, and long-eared owl, and pelican and water plover, and those like it, and water hen and bat, all creeping ones of those that fly. These are unclean for you. You shall not eat from them. You shall eat any clean winged creature. And you shall not eat any carcass. It shall be given to the resident alien in your cities, and he will eat, or you shall sell to a stranger. For you are a people holy to the Lord your God. You shall not boil a lamb in its mother's milk. You shall tithe the tithe of all the yield of your seed, the yield of your field year by year, and you shall eat it in the presence of the Lord your God, in the place that the Lord your God may choose for his name to be called there. You shall bring the tithes of your grain, and of your wine, and of your oil, the firstlings of your cows, and of your sheep, so that you may learn to fear the Lord your God all your days. But if the distance is far from you, and you are unable to transport them, because the place which the Lord your God may choose for his name to be called there is far away from you, because the Lord your God will bless you, you shall then convert them into money, and take the money in your hands, and go to the place, that which the Lord your God may choose, and you shall give the money for whatever your soul may desire, for oxen or for sheep, for wine or for sicara, or for whatever your soul desires, and you shall eat there in the presence of the Lord your God, and you and your household shall be joyful, and the Levite in your cities, because he has no part or allotment with you. After 3 years you shall bring out every tithe of your yield. In that year you shall store it within your cities, and the Levite shall come, because he has no part or allotment with you, and the guest and the orphan and the widow in your cities, and they shall eat and shall be filled, so that the Lord your God may bless you in all the works whatever you may do. Through 7 years you shall make a remission, and thus is the ordinance of the remission. You shall remit every personal debt which your neighbor owes you, and you shall not ask it back of your brother, because a remission to the Lord your God has been proclaimed. Of a stranger you may ask back whatever he has that belongs to you. To your brother you must make a release of the debt to you. For there will be no one in need among you, because by blessing the Lord your God will bless you in the land that the Lord your God is giving you as an allotment to inherit it. But if by hearing you listen to the voice of the Lord your God by keeping and doing all these commandments that I command you today, because the Lord your God has blessed you, as he said to you, you will even lend to many nations, but you will not borrow, and you will rule over many nations, but they will not rule over you. Now if there is among you any one of your brothers in need of one of your cities within the land that the Lord your God is giving you, you shall not rid your heart of love, neither shall you close up your hand from your needy brother. By opening you shall open your hands to him. You shall lend a loan to him whatever he may need in accord with what he needs. Be careful to yourself, lest a secret word is in your heart, something lawless saying, The 7th year, a year of release is near. And your eye be evil towards your needy brother, and you will not give to him, and he will cry out to the Lord against you, and it will be for you a great sin. Giving you shall give to him, and you shall lend him a loan, whatever he needs. And you shall not be grieved in your heart when you give to him, because through this thing the Lord your God will bless you in all your works and in all to which you may put your hand. For the needy shall not fail from the earth. I therefore command you to do this thing, saying, By opening you shall open your hands to your brother, who is poor, and to the needy in your land. But if your brother is sold to you, whether a Hebrew man or a Hebrew woman, he shall be subject to you 6 years, and in the 7th year you shall send him out a free person from you. And when you send him out from you a free person, you shall not send him out empty. You shall provide provisions to him from your sheep and from your grain, and from your winepress. As the Lord your God has blessed you, you will give to him. And you shall remember that you were a domestic in the land of Egypt. And the Lord your God redeemed you from there. For this reason I command you to do this thing. But if he says to you, I will not go out from you, because he loved you in your household, since it is good for him with you, you shall then take an awl and pierce his ear against the door, and he shall be a domestic to you forever. And you shall do likewise with regard to your female slave. It shall not be hard on you when they are being sent out from you as free persons, because for 6 years he was a slave to you in lieu of an annual wage, for the hired laborer, and the Lord your God will bless you in all that you may do. Every firstling that may be born among your cows and among your sheep, you shall consecrate the males to the Lord your God. You shall not do work with your firstling calf, and you shall not shear the firstling of your sheep. In the presence of the Lord your God you shall eat it, year by year at the place that the Lord your God may choose, you and your household. But if there is a defect in it, be it lame or blind, or even any serious defect, you shall not sacrifice it to the Lord your God. Within your cities you shall eat it. The unclean and the clean alike shall eat, like gazelle or deer. But its blood you shall not eat. You shall pour it out on the ground like water. Observe the month of new things, and you shall perform the Pascha for the Lord your God. For in the month of new things you came out of Egypt by night. And you shall sacrifice the Pascha for the Lord your God, sheep and cows, at the place that the Lord your God may choose for his name to be called there. You shall not eat leaven with it. For 7 days you shall eat unleavened with it, bread of affliction, because you came out of Egypt in haste, so that all the days of your life you may remember the day of your departure from the land of Egypt. Leaven shall not be seen with you in all your borders for 7 days, and none of the meat of what you may sacrifice in the evening on the first day shall lie until morning. You shall not be able to offer the Pascha within any of your cities that the Lord your God is giving you, but at the place that the Lord your God may choose for his name to be called there, you shall offer the Pascha, in the evening at sunset, the time when you departed from Egypt. And you shall boil and roast and eat it at the place that the Lord your God may choose. And you shall return the next morning, and go back to your houses. For 6 days you shall eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day there shall be a finale, a feast for the Lord your God. You shall do no work on it, except that which shall be done for life. You shall count for yourself 7 complete weeks when you have started the sickle on the standing grain. You shall begin to count 7 weeks. And you shall make the feast of weeks for the Lord your God, according as your hand is able, whatever he may give to you, as the Lord your God has blessed you. And you shall be joyful before the Lord your God, you and your son and your daughter, your male slave and your female slave, and the Levite who is in your cities, as well as the guest and the orphan and the widow who is among you, at the place that the Lord your God may choose for his name to be called there. And you shall remember that you were a domestic in the land of Egypt, and you shall keep and do these commandments. You shall make for yourself a feast of tents for 7 days, when you have gathered in from your threshing floor and from your winepress. And you shall be joyful at your feast, you and your son and your daughter, your male slave and your female slave, and the Levite and the guest and the orphan and the widow in your cities. 7 days you shall feast for the Lord your God at the place, that which the Lord your God may choose. Now if the Lord your God blesses you in all your yield, and in every work of your hands, then you shall be joyful. 3 times a year every male among you shall appear before the Lord your God at the place, that which the Lord may choose, at the feast of unleavened bread, and at the feast of weeks, and at the feast of tent pitching. You shall not appear before the Lord your God empty-handed, each according to the strength of your hands, according to the blessing of the Lord your God that he gave you. You shall appoint for yourselves judges and recorders in all your cities that the Lord your God is giving you, by tribe, and they shall render just decisions for the people. They shall not bend justice, they shall not recognize a person, neither shall they take gifts, for gifts blind the eyes of the wise and nullify the words of the righteous. You shall pursue justice fairly, so that you may live, and when you have entered, you may inherit the land that the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not plant yourself a grove, any tree beside the altar of the Lord your God, which you will make for yourself. You shall not set up for yourself a stele, things which the Lord your God hated.